Imagine if a huge piece of land breaks off and falls into the ocean, and 100-foot-high waves wash away entire cities, or a supervolcano erupts and the world's temperature drops so much that we enter a new ice age or are buried under ice. Suppressed poisonous monster has awakened whose heat can destroy every corner of the world. This is not a science fiction story, but a natural threat that can end human life in a single stroke. We will talk about 4 sleeping natural disasters present on the Earth itself, which have the full capability to destroy the world. According to the scientists, the arrival of these natural disasters is confirmed, but when will they happen? Let us first talk about the Doomsday Glacier. The name is Thwaites Glacier, but why it is called Doomsday Glacier, you will know in a short while. We all know that the sea level is increasing day by day, and new problems are arising for humans. But how big the upcoming challenges will be, and how much time we have left, all this depends on this Doomsday Glacier, located in the west of Antarctica. This glacier becomes more than 1 kilometer deep at many places, i.e. as high as Burj Khalifa. Apart from being deeper than that, it is spread up to 120 kilometers, which makes it the world's widest glacier. Spread over an area of 192,000 square km, this glacier is so big that it can accommodate 318 Mumbai or Karachis. 50 cities can fit in it. For the past several years, this glacier has been melting at a much faster rate than the whole of Antarctica. It has so far increased the sea level by 4%. But the most dangerous thing is its location. Thwaites Glacier is part of the entire West Antarctic ice. It is just a small part of the sheet, but its melting poses the risk of the entire ice sheet melting, causing the sea level to rise by 3 meters or about 10 feet in the coming years. Experts say that the entire responsibility of the West Antarctic ice sheet is on the Thwaites Glacier. If it is not stopped from melting, it will submerge the entire West Antarctica, causing the sea to cover the cities located on the shore. The water of these cities will rule, and the names of cities like Mumbai, New York, Jakarta, Bangkok, and Dhaka come on top. If seen in this animation, this is the Antarctic ice sheet. This too is very deep in the middle because the snowfall for centuries has made it thick in the middle. As it is getting thicker in the middle, due to the weight, the glaciers are moving out towards the Antarctic Ocean. The glaciers that are moving out have water underneath them. They are called ice shelves. Global warming affects both water and air. Due to this, the ice shelves on both sides are also melting, but at different speeds. In the east of Antarctica, the land level is above the ocean, due to which water is not able to reach the glaciers, and here, the ice melts slowly. But in West Antarctica, what's different is that most of it is below sea level, which means that water can go underneath it and weaken it further, causing it to melt faster. This is why West Antarctica is considered the world's most important ice mass in terms of climate change. To understand this correctly, look at the survey map of the land beneath Antarctica. To its east, the land is higher than the sea level, which is shown in red and yellow colors, while to its west, where the land is shown in blue, it is all ocean. The ice shelf is below the water level, especially this dark blue part at the bottom, and this is where the Doomsday Glacier is. Currently, this ice shelf is hanging above the water, while the ocean water beneath it has hollowed it out. Every year, pieces of it are breaking off and getting mixed in the ocean, and the ocean water is hollowing it out further from the bottom. If we talk about the period from 1992 till now, During this period, the ocean water has hollowed it out up to 14 kilometers inside. If the matter continues at this speed, almost this whole glacier will break and fall into the Antarctic Ocean. The Thwaites Glacier, which has already raised the sea level by 4 meters in the last 30 years, will raise the level of all the oceans by half a meter if it melts completely. This time is probably not far because researchers have already predicted a huge doomsday glacier. The crack has been found, and now no one can stop it. The question is not whether the Thwaites Glacier will break or not, but when. And as you have known before, this can lead to a huge catastrophe in the West Antarctic ice sheet. There is no doubt that after this happens, the process of melting will be triggered in this ice sheet as well, which will increase the ocean level by 3 meters. In such a case, coastal cities will have to be evacuated suddenly, according to a survey by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. According to this, the cities which will come under its purview currently house more than 1 billion people. When all these people will move to higher areas, the economic imbalance of the whole world will be seen. Apart from this, rapid changes will be seen in the weather of the whole world, including dangerous tsunamis, hurricanes, and floods, which will become very common. Now let's talk about Yellowstone. Yellowstone supervolcano is inside Yellowstone National Park in the state of Wyoming, USA. It is an active volcano system, which is one of the largest and most dangerous supervolcanoes in the world. Yellowstone is not just a small mountain that erupts. It is a supervolcano, which is filled with a lot of magma, i.e. molten rock. If it erupts, its effects will not be limited to America only, but the whole world will have to face destruction. Yellowstone is inside a large caldera, which is almost 70 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide, which means that it is like a giant crater that was formed after an old volcano eruption. Experts believe that this supervolcano erupts once every 6 to 7 lakh years. The last time it erupted was about 640,000 years ago, and before that, there was a big explosion 1.3 million years ago. And before that 2.1 million years ago. Looking at its past record, it would not be wrong to say that Yellowstone supervolcano will erupt again. It can erupt any time within the next 60,000 years. If Yellowstone supervolcano erupts, its effect will not be limited to just one country, but it can easily engulf the whole world. It can affect any city within its 1,000 kilometers radius. It will destroy the world in a single stroke. Due to the explosion, it will release gases like volcanic ash and sulfur dioxide in the air, due to which the climate of the whole world will change. The clouds of ash will be so dense that sunlight will not fall on the ground for the next several years. Due to this, the temperature of the Earth will fall. This phenomenon is called volcanic winter. Crops will stop growing, and there will be a food shortage all over the world. Even if people survive, they will get sick due to the presence of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere. According to reports, if Yellowstone erupts today, at least 70% of the world's population could be wiped out. Now comes the turn of the Cumbre Vija volcano in northwest Africa. Spain's Canary Islands are 700 miles away from the coast. This island, named La Palma, came into existence 4 million years ago due to the Cumbre Vija volcano. This volcano is still active and can pose a huge threat to the world. In the last 60 years, this volcano has been active for more than 40 years. Over the years, volcanic eruptions have created a fault line and crack in the island. which can be seen in Google Earth as well. This crack is located 6,000 feet above sea level. Scientists say that if a major eruption occurs, lava may come out. The damage caused by this is one thing, but a large part of the island can fall into the sea. Geologists believe that if the fault line cracks completely, a rock weighing about 500 billion tons will slide into the sea at a speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Due to this landslide, the seawater will splash up to 1 kilometer and fall, which will start a series of tsunamis that will leave their impact in every corner of the world. Experts have called it a mega tsunami. These waves, named tsunami, will travel up to 4,000 miles in every direction of the sea, with Europe, America, and Africa being badly affected. Waves more than 100 feet high will spread deep into the sea, and even the coastal cities will be completely destroyed. The volcano of La Palma is a time bomb that can explode at any time, and its effect will not be limited to the Canary Islands only, but the whole world can come under its influence. However, because the inclination of this slide is towards the west, it is being understood that the east coast of America, where Miami and Orlando are located, will be affected the most. If the cities are not evacuated in time, then the mega tsunami can take millions of lives. Finally, let us talk about permafrost. 1/11 of our world is permafrost. Permafrost is that part of the land whose temperature remains below 0 degrees Celsius for 12 months of the year. Permafrost is mostly found in polar regions, which include half of Canada, 2/3 of Russia, and Tibet. It includes most of the permafrost that has been in this condition for millions of years, but not anymore. Above the layer of permafrost, there is an active layer that freezes in winter but melts back in summer. Below this layer, there is a layer of permafrost. The temperature remains below 0 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Due to this, permafrost acts like a deep freezer. For millions of years, plants, animals, and microorganisms have remained frozen and preserved in this permafrost, and their decomposition process never started. But due to global warming, the active layer of permafrost is getting deeper every year, and thousands of years old animals are emerging from here in the same condition as they were at the time of their death. When permafrost melts, the organic matter present in it starts melting. The bacteria start eating them and release methane gas. Experts believe that the amount of pollution in the world today is 4 times more than the carbon trapped in permafrost, and it is slowly spreading into the atmosphere. So much greenhouse gas is causing this. When these gases are released into the atmosphere, the average temperature of the world will increase by 8 degrees Celsius, due to which the glaciers will melt. Due to the melting of glaciers, the supply of fresh water in the world will be disturbed. The level of the seas will rise by 5 meters, and such climatic changes will be seen in which near the equator, it will become impossible for humans to live there. Most people think that the melting of permafrost is a future disaster, but in reality, this disaster has already begun. Every year, the active layer of permafrost is getting thicker and thicker in different parts of the world. A living proof of this is the Batagaika crater in Siberia, which was formed due to the melting of permafrost and sinking of the ground, and is getting bigger every year. If the process of melting of permafrost continues in this manner, which cannot be stopped, then in the next 50 to 70 years, 70% of the world's permafrost will melt. Even if fossil fuels are eliminated today, the permafrost will still melt. It is impossible to stop. I hope you will all like and share this video.